Bryce, possibly can get Chuba back. I mean, that's, I guess, a great problem to have is having both those guys in the lineup back there, both options back there, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, not a problem. Again, it's having guys, having the backfield that we have. That's a luxury. I'm excited. Obviously, however that plays out. But yeah, we have a great group back there, so it's a luxury.
Have you talked to Chuba? I mean, I guess that's kind of a different situation. He's kind of earned that role, been the guy, and now he may not be the main guy, but still helping out. Have you talked to him?
Not about that. Chube's just excited to be back. We're all excited for him to be back. Chube's an ultimate competitor. They all are in that room. I know they, him, Rico, Trev, everyone, they just want to do whatever it takes to win. So I'm excited for whatever it ends up being.
Bryce, what have you seen from this Jets defense?
Yeah, really good group, really talented players. They've been a good group collectively. They've played good football. They put stuff together. They have a good scheme. They've up front. It's a group that plays with a lot of with a lot of aggression. They're a ferocious group up front. They do a really good job in the running pass game. Second level, they do a good job playing off of them. In the back end, it's a really good group. They're talented. They do a good job in coverage, a good job sticky in man. They do a good job in zone. Playing with awareness, understanding understanding leverage. We're excited for the challenge. Again, we know it's a really good group. We have to do everything we can during the week to give ourselves the best chance to be successful on Sunday. But we're excited for the challenge.
What are some of the keys for y'all offensively heading into this game?
Just execution. We want to make sure that we can be efficient with our stuff. We want to make sure we're efficient with our operation. We want to make sure that we can. We can stick to our plan and make sure we know as any game there's going to be adjustments in game. We know that there's going to be stuff for us to that it's going to be different or going to be the same. Whatever it is, we have to make sure that we execute. So this week, just making sure we focus on that.
Also,
what
might be
are the
getting
challenges
Coker.
that you? Sorry. What are the challenges that you feel this team has struggled with on the road, and how can you guys kind of get over that hump on Sunday?
Yeah, we just want to make sure that again we're regardless of obviously being the bank is great, you get that advantage, but we're on the road. It's the same field dimensions, it's the same game. Just making sure we're consistent. Again, I think operation is one of the things that we've talked about, making sure that we're as efficient in and out the huddle, efficient with getting plays snapped, all that stuff, just so we can have that operation that breeds confidence, that breeds efficiency. So I think that's one of the vocal points of what we've been emphasizing, and then it's just making sure we're together in those scenarios. And I'm grateful because we naturally do that as a group. We play for each other. We bring our own juice, and making sure that continues.
And you're getting Jalen possibly back this week. What kind of a boost would he bring to you guys?
Yeah, having that possibility up is huge. Jalen's been huge ever since he got here. Great player, of course, but on the outside of just that, great for the locker room. Works super hard. So it's, again, I know there's the medical side of it. However it plays out, we're excited for that time nearing.
I think most people, when they hear slot receiver, they think of smaller guys like Adam, like Hunter, people that size. When you can put a Jalen Coker in that position, what does it do when you've got two other guys of size with T-Mac and XL?
Yeah, it causes for a lot of problems. It certainly makes my job easier, just with the stuff that Jalen brings. All of our Fs do a great job with that too. All the people, our entire group. It's different stuff. You're able to have different things. You're able to present different stuff to our defense to account for. So again, having as much depth in the receiver room, and especially the different body types and different play styles that we have, I think that's a huge luxury.
Did you realize last year that Jalen was a guy who was capable of playing in a lot of different spots?
Really early on, actually. Training camp, coming in undrafted, OTA training camp, you don't really get that luxury of, hey, I just play this position. You don't get to just sit in and be like, I'm only going to be X or Z. So he had to go and just play wherever he could. He was able to get reps at all spots. He was, especially, the competitor he is. He just wants to get on the field however he could, especially back then. So early on, we kind of were like, I think he started outside. We're like, yeah, he's an outside guy, and then had to fill in it inside. It's like, oh wow, he can do that too. Play single side, play X, play Z, and because of just how he came in his circumstances, I think early on we were like, wow, this could be he brings that utility, which is one of the many things he brings to the team.
There have been a few players who have specifically mentioned a culture shift amongst the franchise in the locker room. Would you agree with that there has been a culture shift? And if so, what does that look like? How would you put that in tangible terms?
Yeah, I feel like we're definitely continuing to build and grow in the right direction. I think really one of the biggest things that we've noticed is just ownership. The coaches have done a great job of laying foundation for us, and they'll be the first to tell you they emphasize it, making sure we take ownership in the cultures, in the plays, in our routines, and whatever it is. And I think everyone's gotten a lot more comfortable embracing that, embracing the culture, and embracing the ownership and all the little things. And I think us being able to come into our own has been, it's been great. It's been great to be a part of. It's been great to be a leader through it. So, there's still work to do, still so much for us to build off of. We know there's still so much for us to grow in, and, we're just taking it week by week, but I'm super grateful to be a part of it.
Dave talked about when you guys are executing and efficient, just the call sheet opens up and he's able to call anything he wants and do anything he wants, and how different that is than when you're trying to chase. I'm just wondering from your perspective, like the last two games, how different has it been when you guys are sort of in control and able to do what you want to do? How does it open things up for you?
Yeah, like you said, we want to make sure that as a play caller, and as an offense, we can be multidimensional. We can have the threats of run, pass, and, obviously the game dictates that stuff. So we always want to stay ahead of the sticks, always want to be ahead. And, that's definitely something we strive for. Also, we understand, it's a competitive league. You're going to be able to have times where stuff comes off the call sheet exactly as you planned, and sometimes where, you have to change and shift. And the great thing about this group is regardless of the circumstances, we're always going to fight. We always believe. We always, know what we're capable of. So, we all obviously have that plan. We want to stick to it. And then regardless of what happens on a week-to-week basis, we're going to continue to fight and play for each other.
How does winning change the dynamic of a locker room?
I think it breeds confidence and belief, but as far as a work ethic standpoint, it doesn't change at all. For us, we have to chase. We're 0-0 this week. This is the most important game of the season because it's the next one we have. Coach says that all the time. It's all that matters. So we have to make sure that regardless of anything that's going on, it's a week-to-week league. You're only as good as this upcoming week. So we're making sure that we stick to the process, have the same intensity, same hunger, regardless of what happens. And, that permeates throughout the locker room. It's not just me talking. Everyone believes that. Everyone embodies that. And I'm grateful to be a part of a team like that.
But is there a burden that's lifted when you've won or are winning?
I think for us, honestly, we've always just kept it inside. We've always kept it in the locker room. We've always kept it about the people in the building. And for us, we've always had that mentality. Success or no success, we've always just played for the next week. From the outside looking in, obviously there's expectations and there's burdens and there's narratives. But for us, we play for each other. We care about the building. So it's not a big shift for us. Again, we have to make sure we're consistent, diligent in our work. Coach is always talking about chasing the work, and that's what's going to make us. And we're all bought into that.
Do you know what kind of relationship do you have with Justin Fields? Do you know him? Are you kind of friends, business friends?
Yeah, I've been around him a couple of times. The times I've been around him, it's been it's been great being around him. I know a lot of people that are close with him. And I have a ton of respect for him, ton of respect for his game. Heard all great things from people that have played with him. And it's from a quarterback standpoint, it's you kind of learn a lot just because you're always watching film and you're watching, so you watch a bunch of people. And again, from being able to watch him and watch him play and watch his film, I have a ton of respect for the player and person he is.
Bryce, I know that he's on the defensive side of the ball, but with the news that Pat Jones is out for the year, how do you absorb that as a leader of the team and just as a human?
Yeah, first and foremost, I feel for him, his family, everyone. That's just such a it's worst part of sports. So I feel for him. Definitely be praying for him. And for us, we understand fortunately it's part of the business. It's a next man mentality. And we all want to make sure we're better for him. Want to go out there and play for him and rally around that. Again, we all have confidence in everyone in that locker room. Whoever, whatever it is that the roster changes with, we know with whoever has to step up will step up. But I just feel for him.
Things aren't going well on the road, 0-3 on the road, 3-0 at home. But 0-3 on the road, do you do it, I'm just curious, are you like superstitious at all? Do you start doing things a little differently, get on the first bus instead of the second bus? I mean, is there anything that goes through your head that you...
I'm not superstitious at all. I believe God ordains my steps, so I'm not superstitious.
Is there anything you change going into being on the road after, the first 3 games where it hasn't gone so well?
No, it's sticking to the process. Again, there's certain challenges of, there's a difference, of course, when you're in the bank versus somewhere else. But everyone deals with that. That's football. That's NFL football. We have to make sure that we can just be as efficient in our process as possible. It takes work. It takes point of emphasis and, being on certain things throughout the week and how we can make sure we can optimize our communication. But there's no drastic change. There's no magic, magic talk or one little thing that's going to change everything. We have to go out there and execute. That's what it is in this league. And we all know we're capable of doing it, but we have to put the work in to put ourselves in a position to do it.
You mentioned just a couple minutes ago, you mentioned faith and all that. Throughout, when you look back at your career, the ups, the high highs, the low lows, what's been the source of your being able to never lose faith in yourself? Faith, family, friends, whatever.
Yeah, definitely my faith. I'm very blessed. I'm super grateful to be on the journey of life that I'm on. I'm a big believer that everything happens for a reason. Big believer that God ordains all my steps, and I try my best to focus on the day-to-day, to focus on the tangible things, what I can have and what I can do in front of me. But I don't believe I'm in control of the grand, big picture of my life. And because of that, I'm able to be confident in what I do, confident in my process. It lifts that burden from me, and the Lord takes it from me. So, it's definitely my faith that has allowed me to be where I'm at.
You touched on it a little bit earlier. With the improved play of the offensive line, you guys have been able to really kind of almost run at will, especially over the last couple of games. Can you talk about the value of that as it relates to creating a more fluid play calling environment?
Yeah, it's huge. The O-line has done a phenomenal job in all phases, and that's as it is. And then when you factor in how much movement there's been, obviously there's been injuries, there's been shuffling people around it for it to not miss a beat and everyone to step up like they have. It's been huge. And like you said, for a play caller, for myself, for the entire unit, when you're able to be efficient in the run game, when you're able to stay on schedule, it opens so much more up. It allows us to do a lot of things offensively. A ton of credit goes to that entire room. It's been huge for us. Appreciate you guys.